My name is Sidney Dekker. I'm a professor at Griffith University. So here's an incident that happened to an airline somewhere in the West. A catering cart in the back galley comes undone during landing. It rolls forward and it crushes the foot of a passenger who's got his leg sticking out in the aisle. Now it turns out that the new flight attendant in the back, still on probation, had not latched the cart properly. Now when hearing about it, the responsible manager yells, "Get the idiot in my office, now! He should have watched out, he should have followed the procedure. I don't care who he is, he's dead." So how do you respond justly to an incident like this? Well, first you have to understand and contain your own reactions to failure. Reactions to failure are typically retrospective, proximal, and counterfactual. What does that mean? Retrospective means that you know the outcome already, and then you react to other people's actions in the light of that knowledge. But they didn't have that knowledge. Proximal means that you typically react to people at the sharp end, those closest in space and time to the outcome. You don't look any further at the blunt end of the organization, which might well include your own responsibility for enabling the conditions for the incident. Counterfactual means that you say what people could or should have done, which of course doesn't explain why things happened. Reactions to failure, in fact, get in the way of understanding failure. So you have to put yourself in the position of the people who were there and reconstruct why it made sense for them to do what they did. Because if it didn't make sense to them, they wouldn't have done it. And then what do? Now you might believe that you have a just response or a just culture after an incident if you ask these typical 3 questions. What rule was broken? How bad was that breach? And so what should the consequences be? That is retributive justice. Retributive justice focuses only on the offender. And most organizations actually aren't very good at it. They don't have independent judges. They have no jury of peers. They have no appeal processes. So if you want to respond justly, try a restorative approach. Ask 3 very different questions. The first question is, who is hurt? The second is, what are their needs? And the third, whose obligation is it to meet those needs? That restorative process includes everyone. The victim is hurt and has needs on his foot, but the flight attendant probably has needs as well. And that flight attendant may have obligations toward the victim, toward the rest of the crew, the airline. Restorative justice can generate a completely different accountability. People tell their accounts, they share their accounts, they learn from their accounts, they don't just settle their accounts. You can either learn or blame. You can't do both. So you have to take your pick.